and welcome to my channel. I just want to take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy new year and a very prosperous, abundant, joyful 2025. I've got one, two, three, four decks in front of me. I've got the Tarot of Traditions. I've got the Shaman's Dream by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron Reid. I've got the Oracle of the Angels by Mario Duguay. If it's not that pronunciation, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't. And I've also got the Enchanted Map Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reid. I've also got a nice cup of nettle tea with a sexy lipstick mark on it. So let's get into it. I hope you've all had a nice festive season and continue to have a festive season if you're still off work. Anyway, so I've already got three cards in front of me and I'll share those in a minute. So 2025, as I was getting ready to start this morning, I got a huge download. I asked guides, what is one of the main things that 2025 is going to bring? And what they showed me was, well, we know that we're going to have to go higher and higher and higher in consciousness. We're thinking, God, we've got 24 out of the way. Let's get into 2025. But it feels like, for although there's still going to be the challenges there, internal, external, global, we're going to be required to navigate them very differently than we did last year in 2024. One of the things they showed me was either an event or a range of situations that are going to be coming up on the world stage. Well, basically, if you think you've seen it all, you've not seen nothing yet. That's what I got. Because there's going to be revelations coming up, information coming out, and this is big stuff. And what's going to happen is, and you could actually say this is already happening now at the time of filming. Number one, more people are going to go into divide. If you've been on your spiritual ascension awakening path for some time, one of the things that we're being required to do is to not join in the divide. If you find yourself in either side, you're losing the game. You're losing your power. We're going to be required to be the observer, to be the supporter, to not go into, I told you so. I told you, I've been trying to tell you that. Because think about what happens when you've experienced that over anything. I told you so. I told you not to go on a date with him. I told you not to marry her. I told you not to do that. When something's happened, it makes you feel incredibly worse. And what we're going to be asked to do is to not go into that, to not go into the online war games that are going to be happening, to just stand and be the powerful observer, to also allow things to play out. What you're also going to see, because some of this stuff I've been shown is going to flip people out, especially if they're ingrained in that belief system or that narrative. Also, what I've been shown, and again, you could already say this is happening, but it's going to get bigger next year, is that other people are going to throw other people to the wolves whilst pretending to be the goody two shoes. I remember in the UK in 2024, was it, I don't know when it was, 23, 24, 2020, we had quite a well-known TV presenter was accused of stuff. And you wouldn't be surprised. Well, you wouldn't be surprised. You wouldn't anyway, whatever the word is. The amount of people that have worked alongside this person claiming they knew. And I'm so Mr. Squeaky Clean myself, or Miss Squeaky Clean. And people fell for it. People fell for it. Oh, I always knew one of the good ones and all of that. But a lot of people saw through it. But I remember sat watching that kind of chaos thinking, why did you not call it out then, pal? Exact words in my mind. Why did you not call it out then, pal? Or palette? It was female. Anyway, pal. Because you're going to see more of that. Also, as well, you're going to see more illusion and delusion. We know that 2024 was a year full of it, where there were many situations, stories that we still haven't got to the bottom of. Talking from the wisdom that I've gathered in 2024, don't pretend to know what's going on. Don't try to put yourself or push yourself into that situation where you're going to energetically look at it. Because Let me tell you, it's not a healthy space to be. From what I've gathered in 2024, trying to be the one that has the answers is nowhere forward. In fact, that's when we step into ego. So again, it's at being the observer. It's not they are that, they are this. It's like there's another situation in our world at the minute playing out with someone that's recently deceased over the past 12 months or so, or maybe in stuff that's coming out about this person. And old Claire would have been like, "Rrr, yay, justice and all of that. But is there really justice when someone's dead and cannot defend themselves? That's the question you've got to ask yourselves. And also when there's other people alive that can be brought to justice. So it's about being the observer. So I pulled some cards for myself as guidance for this video. And these were going to be cards that I would just keep for myself as guidance. But when they came out, I was like, no, I'm going to share these because this is really important. So the two cards that came out were, well, interesting. The card at the bottom is card one, which is the start, the reset, not that reset, the spiritual reset, your own internal reset, higher consciousness, going higher, out of all the mainstream chaos, out of all the separation energy, out of all the I'm this team, I'm that team. It's about going higher. It's about expansion of your own life as well. Whilst ever you're concentrating on what's going on in that arena, you're not focusing on the internal world. And that's one of the reasons why many people do not know why they are on this planet at this time. The next card is the card of light, and that's why I'm sharing them with you. Because how powerful are them? Those, them, whatever it is. The light and higher consciousness. I then took my tarot deck out of its little bag thing. I'll show you my little bag thing actually. I don't know if I've shown you these before. Like those. So I took it out of its little bag thing, and the magician was was the first card again. The magician is the great alchemist. He's the great spiritual teacher. He's the great spiritual warrior. He knows that he's got the tools on the table to get him through something. So I'm going to shuffle on camera as well. 2025 is going to be a year of being the spiritual alchemist, life alchemist, global alchemist. Wonder if I could get all that in a title. I'll see. Let's have a slurp of tea. So I like that start. 2025, what I'm also feeling into is it's going to be a year where we gently walk into it. We're not going to go woof, hit the ground running. There's going to be moments in that year when we're going to have to hit the ground running, but it's going to be a very gentle process. It's not about being the first to win the race. It's not about being the first to get it. It's going to be a gentle, gentle walk into it for us. That's how we're being asked to walk into it. You know, the Mercury retrograde that we've just had, one of the things that became conscious of was the speeding up of time even more. And we know what Mercury retrograde's all about. And it was like, God, this is so stressful. It just felt like you had so much to do. And one of the things the guide said was slow down, slow down. Honestly, 2025 is slow down. The world will be going noisy, chaotic. It could even be news article after news after news after news after news after news. Remember that the times we're in have been predicted for hundreds, thousands of years. So we shouldn't be shocked by any of this. But there are going to be those that are going to go into shock and purging. So as the world is going into chaos faster, 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 in order to counterbalance that in ourselves, we have to go within. Um, I'm being shown an energy of somebody that's just sat there in the garden, on a chair, rocking chair, or whatever it is you're sat on, and it's just peace. Because at the minute, we're trying to find peace in the world, and we haven't conquered peace within this. And you're not going to get peace in the world until you conquer peace. It's got to come from here. Bit of a two of cup energy. Global peace will come when humanity is at peace with itself, when the humans are at peace with themselves. So Let me put those cards there and let's shuffle some cards for 2025. Am I going to do some global predictions? Global predictions for 2025. Global predictions for. We'll do that and we'll look at energy. We'll see what comes up. Global predictions for 2025. Global predictions for 2025. Right. We've got the Five of Pentacles out in the cold energy. We've got the Queen of Swords at the bottom. So, cutting something out. Let me keep pulling. We've got the Lovers, which is healing. We've got the Four of Cups, which is being offered something but not really wanting to take it. We've got the Victory card. We've got the Boundary card. We've got the Moon, the illusion, and the sense of self. Interesting. Let me just do a clarify for that Five of Pentacles. I'm not going to stay too long in the global predictions, but got an itchy nose. I've been doing a lot of saging this week. I did some saging this morning as well, and it gets right up your neck. That's another thing as well, being really sensitive to tastes, smells, scents, all, I mean, I know smells and scents are the same thing, but being really sensitive to a lot of things. The clothes, being able to really feel the clothes on you, sensitive to sound, um, sensitive to the taste of food, heightened sensitivity. Clarify for that Five of Pentacles. Temperance and the Five of Cups, loss. Um, it's interesting that I've pulled cards on the global predictions and we've kind of come back to ourselves again. Um, Let me just tune into this. I tell you what I'm getting. I'm getting the words it doesn't matter. And I'm being shown that a lot of the global prediction, not global predictions, but global stuff that we're seeing, I'm being shown that the example they're giving me is an old tape cassette. That it's an old tape cassette and many old tape cassettes. It's like going to someone's house in the 80s or the 90s, early 90s, and they've got all the cases of cassettes there, yeah. Um, and they're all these different are all playing. And what that tells me is this is old news. It's old news. Right, okay. Five of Pentacles is a really interesting card as well as it can be a triggering card. It's the card of when we feel suppressed, out in the cold, cut off from light, cut off from our value, our worth. We're stuck in our pain, our trauma, our illness, all of it, all stories. We can't see our way out the lover's card, the choice. Okay? Humanity, humans, next year are going to be pushed and pushed and pushed to step out of the Five of Pentacle energy, which is the poor me energy. They are doing this to me. They are doing whatever they are to me. And they could be people at work, your family, um, the Voldemorts of the world, etc., etc., etc. They are doing this to me. They are persecuting me. We're going to be asked more and more to step out of that energy. Also, as well, to step out of that lack energy. You're also going to be shown a lot of poverty stories next year. And I know there is poverty out there, But these poverty stories I'm feeling are going to be used to as a fear tactic, okay? Um, there's also a story I'm tuning into in regards to um, immigration that somehow gets manipulated or taken out of context in order. Just be wary of immigration stories next year being manipulated and taken out of context. Um, the lovers is choice and healing. Four of Cups is something that comes in, but they're not willing to take it. Let me do a clarifier for that. We've got more cards out here than anything. Let me do a clarifier for this Four of Cups energy. The light, yeah, the light and the dark. Boof. The divide. Look at that. Do you know what? We're going to have to make peace with the fact that some people do not want to see, they do not want to hear, they do not want to see. They're quite happy to stay stuck, right? They're quite happy to stay chained to something darker because on some level it suits them. Okay. And I know many of you are on a spiritual awakening ascension path, and many of you, this could be your own family members. Stop trying to convert people, stop trying to save people because some people I'm feeling are, are intent on staying stuck. Okay, if that makes sense. Again, I know I said global energies, but they are kind of global energies. There is going to be a battle between light and dark next year, a big battle. But it's not, again, this isn't fear mongering. This is just truth. We know we're in a spiritual war right now. And this is an internal thing, it's an external thing within workspaces. You can see it playing out in so many areas now on the global stage. So this is a battle that possibly many don't want to see. Victory card. Can I have a clarifier for the victory card? There's gonna be something next year where it looks like the Voldemorts have won. Whoever you think the Voldemorts are, in your world, in the global world, it's gonna be something that makes it look like they've won. Okay, but it's an illusion. There's gonna be staged events. Sod it, I'll say it. There's gonna be staged events. And as I say that, Eight of Pentacles is I mean, God. Be very mindful of events next year. They're staged events. There's also money behind some of these staged events. Let me do a clarifier for this Six of Wands. Justice, karmic clearing in order to move forward. Three of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Again, these staged events, let it play out in the way it needs to play out. Because at the minute we're balancing collective karma. And this is also the card for humanity, or for the part of humanity that want to change, embrace, heal, awaken, and ascend. Okay, going into victory, going into. I mean, look at these cards. Have you seen what's happening every time in this reading? We get a little glimmer of something on the world stage. The cards very. It's almost like the cards show us something's coming, but then they also come as bring it back to us, back to you, back to you, back to you. Look at that. We've got your back. These are your guides. We've got your back. This is all balancing out. It's all playing out in the way it's meant to. You will be victorious. Ace of Cups, which is self care. Yes, there is illusion in the world of which you have to be mindful of. But ultimately, more cards here. Let me get that card up. We've got the Queen of Swords, which is cutting through the BS. Also, as well, the healing of the divine feminine energy. Um, Lots of clearing up of, even when you're on a awakened spiritual path, you can still have belief systems that you have to shed. That makes sense. I don't know, people that have inspired you. See what I'm tuning into here. The whole thing at the minute of not spiritual, maybe spiritual well-being influencers that are I'm talking well-known well-being influencers. There's something about that as well. Something about these well-known, not all of them, nod nod wink wink, allegedly, not, but there's something here about even that, I've got to watch so and so's podcast because it's got 1 million followers on it, or 2 million, 3 million. Anyway, global energies next year for those watching. Global energies next year for the collective. Global energies next year for the collective. The burdens that need to be placed down in order to see a different perspective. So many people are going to be going into 2025 feeling burdened, carrying their burdens. I do love nettle tea. When I first started having it, I didn't like it, but I love it. Two of Pentacles, wanting their cake and eat it energy. So this is also the card of having to balance something, having to balance older version of us that we're still having to shed and embrace new versions of us that we're having to embrace. Page of Cups, your dreams. Starting to realize that actually I don't have to have a hard eat, sleep, rave, repeat existence in a false matrix. I can embrace something better. But there is a lot of battles still on out in the world, a lot of global battles, a lot of internal battles. Humanity feels because it's not where it wants to be, it's not where it needs to be. It's like holiday, isn't it? It's like planning a holiday. We're so focused on getting there, getting into the hotel, the cruise ship, whatever, that we miss the fact that actually that the planning what we're going to eat, planning what we're going to wear, packing the suitcase, the travel down, the looking through the brochures, looking online is just as important as getting there. And there's this feeling of I just want to get to this new earth type energy. And we're trying to bypass a lot of what we're going through now. Like I say, new earth, we've got the Ten of Cups coming. We've got to go through all of these different steps to get to the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is when you've worked through your cups, you've worked through and mastered your emotions. Yes, Three of Swords, healing after heartbreak. Four of Swords, again coming straight after that, healing after heartbreak, release. And the Lovers, the choice. So if you can go into 2025 with these skills that you've learned in 2024, we're trying to go into 2025 with a balanced mindset as we can travel through it quicker. If we go into 2025 with all of that baggage, all the old stories, we're going to be to a pentacle and it's going to overwhelm us. We're not going to be able to fulfill our dreams. We're not going to be able to go from the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups. We're going to be stuck in the battle. We're not going to get the happy ever after. We're going to stay in heartbreak and pain, possibly even disassociation and switching off. And we won't get the Lover's card. There's something here about changing perspective and ideas. And the moon, the illusion. There is this illusion energy over the world. Um, and there's also a sadness out there, a sadness and a deep contemplation. Many people are having to really look at their lives, the past, the present. Um, Many people are having to look at their role in the global lives as well. We all have a role, excuse me, in the global lives. Um, Energy is everything. You've got this card as well. We have got to step out of this energy. This energy will not serve you in 2024. This poor me, I'm ill, I can't afford this, I'm depressed. I'll rephrase that. My anxiety, my depression, my illness, my poverty, my. Every time you say that, you make it yours. We are gonna have to step up. We're gonna have to shine bright. There is no, well, what I can't. Tough. I'm really feeling this tough love energy coming through of that we cannot be that person anymore. That it was almost like we've had those days of being able to go into that energy. But because of this change in frequency, we can't do it anymore. And if we stay in that, it's going to become heavier and heavier. You know, back in 2020, I did a reading, I'll never forget it, where I said, we've all been in this type of false matrix where it's been dense, heavy energies, but gradually we're starting to pull out of it. But that energy is still there, and there are still people playing in it. But it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier in there because more and more people that were able to hold the light are stepping out of it, they're waking up. If you still stay in this, even for a second, you've just had a bad day at work, you've come in, slammed the door, it's going to feel like shit in there. It's going to feel horrific. It's going to feel horrible. If you want to stay in that, where is it, Five of Pentacle energy, I will tell you now, it's going to feel horrendous there. If you want to stay in the, I'm going online to see what's happening with whoever, it's going to be shit. You will not be able to progress in your life. I'm also hearing as well that energy, we're going to become more able to alchemize energy. So, any, I hate the word bad and good thoughts, but for example, you wake up out of bed and you're like, fuck's sake, God, that's going to amplify. You're waiting for a meeting and it's going to be a meeting with somebody in the workplace that you don't like, and you're like, he's going to say that, he's going to say this, he's going to say, oh God, that meeting will go. We're not going to be able to get away with it. You know, to think, God, I'm so fat. God, I can't believe this. God, no one's going to ever love me. Honestly, what I'm feeling now is actually giving me the shivers because any type of mindset like that, you will feel the slump. Any type of energy that we dabble in, because we are humans and we're like a dabble, that is of lower vibration, you will feel it profoundly in 2025 going forward. Anything we watch on the television, you even think, I've got to put a bit of Netflix on. Um, so talking about that next year as well, it comes back to heightened sensitivity. More people not being able to eat certain foods, certain drink products, certain other things in the world that we may take. We're gonna feel it. We're gonna feel it. And that's gonna bring up old shadow as well because we're gonna say, but I love my bottle of wine after work on a Friday. I love my girls' night out. I love meeting my mum and having a McDonald's. I love that big, fat, juicy cappuccino with all those thingies on it. And have you seen them? Have you seen these things in slits like that? It's going to make you ill. Um, yes. So, global energies for 2025. Global energies for 2025. It's also going to be a year of creating new businesses, new ways of being. Let's have a drink of tea. I'm always conscious that I let tea go cold when I'm doing these videos. Wow. See what card just fell out again? The higher consciousness. It fell out upside down. There are people that are just not going to want to do it. They're not going to want to do it. Slamming out of the room. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I'll never be able to do this. That type. Do not reject the light. An opportunity. I like this as well because this is you in your bubble. Okay? In your bubble. with your fire, your alchemy. Let me just hold it up there like that. Your water, your fire, your earth, your air, your light, and your shadow. Your white gown of purity going forward. Again, lights come out. I'm glad they've done it again with these cards so you can see them being pulled. Higher consciousness and light. Higher consciousness and light. Energy, new energy. Energy, alchemy, lots of energy. Um, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, where we go, oh, I do this, I'm shocking for it, and I possibly will continue to do it next year. Oh God, it's Mercury retrograde. Oh God, it's a full moon. We've got to stop that. We've got to stop. Oh God, I feel horrible with these energies, and step into being the magician of light, obviously, because more energy hitting the earth, more upgrades of the light body as well. Can you see that? Ooh, my tummy is rumbling. Receptivity, are you going to be receiving this? For those of you that want to receive, upgrade, light, enlightenment, wisdom, it's going to be flowing. Whoa! Let's be having you. Liberation. What does that remind you of there? Liberation. Liberation. Oh, my tummy is, you know, when your tummy rumbles, it's not even rumbling, it's like letting off energy. Burping's another way you can let off energy. Coughing. Anyway, initiation. It's a biggie. It's a very, very big one. Again, the chakra system, so the body, the mind, body, and soul. I am creator. Look at those light codes that are waiting. Boom, boom, boom. Upgrades. Honestly, we haven't seen anything yet. I've just been shown a vision of there's this news box in the corner of the room and it's throwing all this shit out, right? Um, but there's also somebody that's so focused on their spiritual well-being, they can't hear it, they can't see it, it's not in their dimension. And that's where we need to be. She's got her wings up, she's receiving these light codes. Look at that. I am creator. So next year, well, next year, I'm doing this just at the end of 2024. 2025 is the creator year. Um, it's possibly going to be the biggest year we've ever had to date. And you know, Christmas of 2025 will be 25, 25, 20, 25. I saw it the other day, with the 25th of December 2025 portal. So the December portal. Obviously, we'll wait until December 2025 to talk about that. That's interesting. I'm being also shown that a lot of the noise in the world is being put there by our energies that want to trick you into believing there isn't an awakening going on, if that makes sense. It wants to trick you into believing that the world is a dark, dangerous place. Transpersonal again, personal. Caterpillar opportunity coming out of the chrysalis. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom coming in, people stepping into ancestral wisdom. You know, we hear a lot of ancestral trauma, and I get, you know, we've all done it, but I'm getting the ick when I hear that ancestral trauma, holding on to the lower vibrational energies within the ancestral line. This is actually being able to switch onto the wisdom of the ancestral line. It's really easy to go, you know, so and so was a narcissist, so and so was that. That's just low vibrational stuff, by the way. Um, Labeling people. This is about being able to tune into your wisdom of your ancestral line. Mindful group think. So possibly time speeding up there, mindfulness, connectivity, spirit of the river, movement toward adventure, having fun, embracing fun, garden of Venus, rest and renewal, needing to rest and renew, sky dancers, surrender, and surrendering to the process. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. And that is what everyone is trying to do at the minute. We have become lost and now we're trying to get back to integrity. And one of the only ways that we can do that is having moments where we're pulled away from our integrity. Ooh, should I take these? There's two that have fallen out the Golden Palace and stuck in the mud. Again, there's going to be that stuck in the mud energy. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. The Golden Palace. Wizard of Awareness. Stepping into your wizard energy as well. Have you seen him there? He's just, look at that. That's what I was trying to tell you at the beginning of this reading. He's watching the global chaos. He's just watching. He's learning. He's understanding. He's seeing it from a higher perspective. He's not going online. He's not arguing with Barbara online in a comment section. He's not being savage. He's stepping into his wizardry. Coming apart. So there'll be more breaking ups, there'll be more breaking apart, there'll be more being pulled apart to be pulled back together again. Encouragement, needing to find your tribe, being gentle with each other, not going into the told you so energy. Talisman, your spiritual practice will be vital in 2025 and listening, being able to listen to the music of your soul. Anything else for 2025? I'm seeing like a wave coming into the year. Now, I don't know whether this is something physical or energetically or a little bit of both. I'm also seeing spirit going under things like the pyramids and all of the old ancestral ancient lands that we had and starting to switch things back on again. So, land stuff as well. I've just seen the banks and the doors closing on some of the banks or the closing of the banks, something to do with banks. Banks as in Banks. People are going to be focusing more on the energy in the palm of their hands rather than the energy in the bank. This isn't about lack of abundance, by the way. There's going to be a big court case that it isn't what we think it is. Somebody's taking the rap. Two lands go into war, but take another with them. More people stepping down from public life, stepping away from public life. People struggling to process their grief of losing their heroes. Blackouts that bring about lightouts. Blackouts that bring about lightouts? Or is it lighthouse? blackouts that bring about lighthouse seems better than lights out. There's something here about blackouts coming in 2025. When the world goes black, when the world goes dark, that's when you get to see the light. Thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.